this is kind of an interesting thing that has come up now. You know, Hillary Clinton has sort of been talking about a lot of things she wants to do and she would do. And one of the most interesting things is it's called Hillary's baby gift to the U.S. That's what I call it anyway. That children born in the U.S. would get a $5,000 baby bond for future cost of college or buying a home. And it was originally proposed to be $500 back in '06, but $5,000 would cost the government approximately $20 billion a year. Yeah. The interesting thing is the Iraq War approximately cost us $150 billion a year.
150.
What's
so
wrong with this?
You could give 70. How many times does 15 go into 5,000 go into 150?
A lot.
Five.
Yeah, but Hillary's...
You could give like $30,000 to each child. If
right.
in that case.
Yeah, but Hillary's proposal is for every year? How long is it?
Every child. Like forever.
As long as she's in charge. The premise is that you get the $5,000 and you invest it.
Right.
But not everybody is going to invest it, right?
I go to Hawaii with that $5,000.
And you have to think about sometimes this is not even just specifically for those who would need it. Every child. So say someone in the middle class who is just maybe even just above the poverty level, just started making it enough where they're taking care of their own family, or maybe they're single and don't have kids. Their tax money is going to go to subsidizing, say, like Bill Gates' kids.
Yeah, but what about that's the same for? Wait a second, Elizabeth. That's the same with Social Security.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
rich people get it and poor people get Social Security.
I was very, at heart, I am very against this policy because I just believe it's more of a gift.
Are you against Social Security too?
No. Against this policy, but then I realized that there is a benefit because I feel like this would maybe cause less abortions in the world. That people would keep having kids instead. They get their $5,000.
Elizabeth, can I ask you one question?
Can I ask you a question? Instinct on this bill.
I just have to ask you this question since you've opened this door.
Sure.
Have you ever been in a position to have to make that decision?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Then back off a little bit. Back off a little bit. Very few people want to have abortions. Most people... Now, see, I was listening.
I was just affirming what you said.
Most people do not want to have abortions. Most women do not have them with some sort of party going on. It is the hardest decision that a woman... ever has to make. So when you talk about it, a little bit of reverence to the women out there who have had to make this horrible decision. And one of the reasons that we have had to make this decision is because so many women were found bleeding, dead, with hangers in their bodies because they were doing it themselves. The idea of this was to make it safe and clean. That was the reason the law came into effect. That was why it was done.
You also have to admit, Whoopi, in that,
women. There was this whole thing about, women would have babies because they wanted to collect money from welfare. Yeah. That was a myth. There are very few women who are going to have a baby because they're going to collect money from welfare.
You cannot ignore the fact that there are...
It's impossible to raise a child with those kinds of entitlements.
Right. I mean, that will grow to maybe just under $8,000 in their time, and it would not even pay for a college tuition when you do the math. I just believe that I understand that there are circumstances like that. You also cannot ignore the fact that there are abortions done for superficial reasons and for reasons that are not extreme.
Nothing to do with this.
That's my personal feeling. I believe that.
Wait, come on, go ahead and say the word.
When I turned, I think, 21 or something, my mother, we didn't have any money. My mother had apparently, when I was born, bought this little insurance policy, which there was a guy who used to come to the door and collect like $1 a week or something. And so when I turned 21, it was sad, really. She handed me this little check for $500, and she said, "Look, you have this." And I really was like, wow. So I bought a car, And then when I got divorced, and I was, 39 years old, and I was broke, and I had no job, and I had a kid. My husband gave me a $10,000 check. I mean, he didn't have a lot of money either, so he had inherited some money. He gave me a $10,000 check. Do you know that without that money, I would not be sitting here today because I supported myself on that and unemployment insurance for about 4 years. Right. And that's how I became, I'm not unemployment, I wasn't allowed to collect it for 4 years. Well, I would have liked it. Yeah. But I had that $10,000 check and unemployment insurance, a little bit of an entitlement.
You needed it, though, right? You needed it.
I'm trying to make the point that sometimes a little boost like that helps you in life.
Absolutely, but you needed it,
Let me just finish one more point. I also think that you cannot be allowed to take the $5,000 and go to Hawaii. It has to be required.
Yeah, I think there should be requirements. There should be salary requirements.
It's too broad.
Trip.
Right. It's not for a trip, and it's not for everyone.
It could be a great idea.
It should be
But
more
you know, it's
specific,
also-
though, to those who actually need it. I believe
You don't know when you're going to need it.
every baby.
You don't know. Sometimes you need it, you know, the world goes around and money goes up and down. But this is also why, was that not profound? But this is also why when a child is born, I mean, I remember people used to buy treasury bonds. Somebody gave me a treasury bond when Jackie was born. And I didn't have a lot of money then. And, you know, it was wonderful to be able, I was able to pay for education. But it's the same kind of, you cannot say, well, this one should get, I mean, it's like, again, it's like Social Security or Medicare.
The question is, will they allow her to do anything like this? I don't think
happen.
It will never happen.
It won't ever happen.